Welcome everybody to this morning's class. Today's a very special day, as Mr. Prabhu announced. It's Vasant Panchami, which is the first day of spring in the Vedic calendar, the Vaishnava Calendar. So this is a big, I lived in India for 19 years, and this Vasant Panchami is a very big day. It's a very joyous celebration because the winter is short but a little intense in Vrindavan. And no one has heating in their house, and it gets to be almost freezing, so it's just cold all the time. And so spring, any sign of spring is like, yes, warmth, it's coming back to my life. And so all the deities of Vrindavan wear yellow that day. And all the devotees also wear yellow that day, so I tried to find something close to yellow. And so you go to, even the men pull out their yellow kurtas, and so it's this very festive. Yellow is one of those bright, beautiful, enlivening colors. It's a color that's symbolic of the mode of goodness, and it's just fresh. It's exhilarating to look at, right? When you look at the deities, wow, like yellow. And in Mayapur, they get saffron. They get like saffron, and they soak it, and they make a deep yellow solution, and then they put it on the gopi's face, so then the white marble becomes yellow. So they're literally yellow from head to toe. Their arms, everything are yellow. Of course, Krishna's black. You can't do much with him, but all the gopis are yellow. So it's quite stunning when the curtains open and you just see everything. Yellow flowers, yellow clothes, yellow complexions. So one day that Radharani shows her real golden hue, her actual form. So it's very beautiful. And also springtime, of course, is a time of rejuvenation. Right? It's a time when the world comes out of its state of dormancy. Like now you look around and you see all the trees are bare, right? All the deciduous trees are just bare. And I was wondering one day, I was thinking, what do the trees do in the winter for so many long months? Because they don't eat, basically, right? Because trees get their food by photosynthesis with the leaves, when light shines on the leaves. But if there are no leaves, then what do? They're just starving. So yeah, they enter into this state of dormancy. And they're just living off some reserves of food stored in the roots. Many animals in winter also, they go into hibernation, right? They become kind of like dormant, or sort of their lives sort of stagnate. And so when spring comes, then it's time to wake up, right? The groundhog comes out of his hole, the bears wake up, the trees start sprouting little green, yellowish green new leaves. So it's a time when come out of a period of dormancy and come into a time of awakening. And that's also so symbolic for us, because here in the material world, most of us are sleeping souls, right? We're in the state of spiritual dormancy. Prabhupada uses that kind of language. Of course, now that those of us who are sitting here are listening to this class, we're starting to wake up, right? At least the alarm clock is going off, and we're kind of like, right? We're slowly waking up. But we want to, when we're fully awake, then we understand who we are, what our purpose is, what we need to do. And so we're trying very hard to wake up. So that's the blessing of Vasant Panchami, that on this special day, first day of spring, may we all spring into action in devotional service. May we all wake up to our original identity. Srila Prabhupada says that we are all originally Krishna conscious entities, but we're covered. So we just need to take off the coverings. It's like now the Krishna House devotees are working on Kalachandji's garden. So they went in there yesterday, and anyone who's a gardener, the garden lies fallow for some months over the winter, and during that time all kinds of things accumulate. There's leaves and sticks that fall off the trees, there's garbage that blows in there, and then there's all just the stuff from the previous harvest. There's a rotten pumpkin and a bunch of vines and all these things there in the garden. So when we wake up, the first thing we have to do is do some cleaning, right? So springtime means spring cleaning. Spring clean the house, we do a maha clean, we spring clean the garden, take out all the refuse and debris, and start working the fields and fertilizing and doing the planting. So in the same way, when we start awakening to Krishna consciousness, the first thing we need to do is clean the heart, right? By doing all these purifying processes of bhakti, like hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting the holy names, taking prasadam, associating with devotees, worshipping the deity, coming to the temple, living and visiting the dhams. So these things are cleaning the garden of our hearts so that the seed of bhakti can grow. So, or that sometimes there's like a perennial plant, you don't have to plant the seed, the bulb is there, or something is there, the roots are there, and it starts to sprout. Or a bush that maybe all the leaves fell off, now it's going to, or a tree that even if like a pine tree, even that the leaves, like an evergreen tree, still there's going to be growth. You see that on the end of the dark green twig, there's some light green growth. So it's a time of growth. So on this day of Vasant Panchami, let's take a renewed determination to clean our hearts and to grow spiritually, to extend our limbs and reach out to the lotus feet of Krishna.